is, I think they've left themselves almost no room to grow because they've reached such height that they cannot beat post-mint. They can't beat 300k. They cannot beat post-mint. I think that, yeah, I do. My thoughts. I think that it can be a really good flip, but you should only mint if they're using a trustworthy launchpad service that holds their mint funds in an escrow, and that's publicly announced, and that is publicly stated. I think the art is pretty cool. I think it's a huge red flag that the managers. I also think it's a red flag that they're like collabing. They're like trying to incorporate every single brand. I think it's also a huge red flag that they're incorporating almost every single brand, every single big NFT project without them officially collaborating with one another. I think it's also a huge fact that they're incorporating almost every single big NFT project into their scenery artwork without them officially collaborating with any of them. And I think that in general, projects, and from my experience, actually, no, I'm just gonna write that because above that I wrote. I think it's a huge red flag that they are incorporating almost every single big NFT project into their scenery artwork without them officially collaborating with any of them. This is a really good threat. Like, this is a good one. This is really good. It's got loads of information. It's got proof that the manager is just in it for the money because he's literally just making money and it doesn't benefit the team at all. I think it's huge. Guys, you literally heard me live. You heard me live say that they didn't have I thought they didn't have a roadmap. Like, I could tell just by, like, this is definitely a rug, like a slow rug. Maybe not an instant one because they're saying they'll use the launchpad. If they don't use a launchpad, it's a rug, 100%. If they do use a launchpad, it's a soft rug because they don't. You guys, if you don't announce a mint price and a supply, it means you have no long-term goals because those are the two most important things. You need to know how big your community will be and how much you're generating to fund stuff post-mint. So obviously they have no long-term goals. Like, what? Oh, maybe I should add a rating system. I could add a rating system. Nah, because that's weird, because a rug is a rug. It's a 10 out of 10 all the time. But I'm also not always right, so what if I'm not feeling like I'm 100% right? But also, I feel like I am, like, gonna be right most of the time. Like, guys, I'm like laying out key facts, like key things that even I like would avoid, and they've avoided every single one of them. Like, they've done exactly what I'd expect them to do if they were a rug. Like, they've done everything. They haven't announced a price. They haven't announced a launch pad, but they're saying they will use a launch pad. They say they won't dox, but they will dox privately. The owner is like, manager is like sus, and he's making as much money as he can pre-mint just to make sure he's made that money, and it doesn't benefit anyone. It's just in his own personal wallet. There's what else do I need to say? I'm trying to think. I don't think I'm gonna add a verification system just yet. Bro, let me delete it. Oh, I know why. I'm gonna like make the Discord call in a minute. I just want to post this because people are like, oh, he's probably lying because he's not posting anything. What? I thought we had a custom server invite link. Solana's rug protection facility. What? We did. Discord.gg/Solana's rug protection facility. Yeah, it is. Wait, what? Okay. Overview. I'm just gonna let it. I'm just gonna like. I'm not gonna try too hard right now. I'm just gonna change all the stuff and then I'll change it later. Just I'm gonna post this just so people know, like, kind of like the format I'm using. Vote with a red flag if you think that this project. Vote with a red flag. React to this message with a red flag. To this message with a red flag. With a red flag. If to alert other members of this Discord of this facility that the information provided above and any more you may have is a sustainable amount to consider this a threat slash rug. Oh, I like that message I just made. Professional. React to this message. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. Red flag. Done. And then just got to do this facility. Make it so you can view it, but you can't talk because you guys will just spam it. Can't go on voice chats. I feel like you guys wanted to speak to me though, because like people, there was like 60 people with their hands up. So, but also I don't because I'm like, because I feel like we're just gonna argue, and I don't want to argue. Also, I'm not like I don't even have it in me to argue with you. I just find it funny. I'm just like a troll, and it will be so weird because it will be so one-sided because I don't have anything against you. Anyway, okay, look, I'm gonna add everyone. Boom. Let's see how people react. Also, guys, don't react red flag if you don't actually believe it. Like, this is just. I just want you to look through everything, and make your own decision. Okay. Abbreviations. GG equals Great Goats. As you can see in the video above, Swave, the manager of the Great Goats NFT, is selling whitelist spots for GG for 3 high rollers of 15 Paradox World NFTs. What he does instantly with these NFTs that he's receiving is he sells them at the floor price of the NFT that he receives, meaning he's essentially charging Sol indirectly for a project that he already has a percentage stake in. This is a bad look considering the project is essentially charging their community to be charged. And although services like Blocksmith Labs do sort of the same thing, at least they do it in a way where both parties are winning in a way and uh, where both parties are winning and they aren't another NFT project, High Rollers slash Parrot, because he's literally selling it at the floor, like instantly. Money Suevi is generating is actually full GG. He's keeping it in his personal wallet and has roughly made 400 Sol in the process of doing so. This isn't the first time Suave has done something sus like this, though. Because below the video, you can also see he gained his following on his personal account by hosting fake giveaways without permission from recently launched hype projects such as Anira, where he was called out publicly by the admins there for hosting fake giveaways and gaining an illegitimate amount of followers from a giveaway that he wasn't actually permitted to host. Here are some red flags that I've noticed as an ex-rugger. They've advertised their project by trying to incorporate pretty much every single known slash hyped project into their scenery art. As an ex-rugger, I can tell you that they're doing this not because they necessarily need or respect the brands, but because they know it creates easier advertisement and gets other communities involved. They've over-advertised. The GG Twitter page has over 311,000 followers and counting. This is a long-term jeopardy for the project. For, the, for their advancement as a project because they are reaching heights before delivering to substitute work with hype. They've not announced a mint price or a supply. This means that they're probably using the momentum they've gained to see how much they can rinse out of their mint. A collection always should have an idea of how much they want their supply to be, because they need to know what their funding they're using the fundings for post mint. This shows that they don't have any long term plans, so they don't actually even know themselves yet how much they're generating, which is always the most important part if you go long term and reinvest into your project. Their roadmap is under consideration and yet to be announced. They haven't announced a launchpad, and to be honest, they haven't announced anything yet. My thoughts. I think that this is I think it can be a really good flip, but you should only mint if they're using a trustworthy launchpad service that holds their mint funds in escrow, and that is publicly stated. I think the art's pretty cool. I think it's a huge red flag that they are yet to make an announcement, and it makes me think they're doing that way because they want to see how much they can rinse. I think they can rinse. But the fact they are yet to announce essentially anything, I think the fact that they are, I think the fact they've yet to announce anything essentially yet, announce essentially anything yet, including the roadmap, says a lot about what they have planned for the future. I think they've left themselves almost no room to grow because they've reached heights they cannot beat post mint. I think it's also a huge red flag that they're incorporating almost every single big NFT project into their scenery artwork without them ever officially collaborating with any of them. React to this message with a red flag. If